Bullying? Let's rip apart all the pieces of bullying. For this section of the course, we're going to learn the acronym RIP for bullying. Let's begin. Bullying Prevention and Awareness. As we stated earlier, bullying is a purposeful action that is intended to injure, involves physical hitting, pushing, shoving, or kicking, or the mental components, verbal humiliation, hurtful, threatening behaviors, gossip, exclusion, and always, in every situation, involves an imbalance of power. An easy way to remember bullying is the acronym RIP. Repetitive, imbalance of power, and purposeful action. If all three components are present, then it meets the criteria for bullying. Again, if the incident is repetitive, imbalance of power, and purposeful, you then have a bullying incident. When we're identifying the bullying incident elements, again, repetitive means that it is carried out repeatedly. Targeted one has been, the targeting has occurred more than once. The second, imbalance of power. Let's just say we have two students, both performing above grade level. Is there an imbalance of power in that manner? The answer would be no. If they are competitive and they're both on the same grade level or performing above grade level, then that would not be an imbalance of power. But if we have two students, one performing above grade level and one performing below grade level, then there is an imbalance of power and they're in competition, and then one makes fun of the other. Then yes, we do have a situation where there is an imbalance of power. So when you're looking at an imbalance of power, you're looking at the persons, the groups, to see if they're perceived to be smarter or more popular. And if there is an imbalance of power, then you may have a component of bullying. Bullying is a purposeful action. Let's just say a student sticks his foot out and another student trips and falls. That is a purposeful action because his intention was to hurt another student. So that too would be considered a criteria of bullying. Safe environment. It is our responsibility as staff members, as educators of the School District of Palm Beach County to provide a safe place to learn for all students. Clarifying points. Is teasing bullying? Teasing done in mutual fun where all individuals involved feel capable of responding, it is not bullying. However, if there is an imbalance of power and one student begins to feel powerless and the words that are being said to them may be mean and hurtful, then that may be a situation where teasing can be considered as bullying. Is bullying the same as conflict? Bullying is not the same as conflict. Conflict involves antagonism among two or more people. Any two people can have conflict in which they feel equally powerful. Bullying only occurs if it's repetitive, an imbalance of power, and purposeful. When we're looking at harassment, the definition there again means threatening, insulting, or dehumanizing gesture, use of technology, computer software, or written, verbal, physical conduct directed against a student who is in fear of his or her person or damage to his or her property. If it interferes with the student's educational performance, impacting the student's emotional and mental well-being, or disrupting the operation of a school or the school district work environment. What does potential to create an intimidating, hostile, or offensive educational environment look like? When you look at the bulleted areas, bullying is likely to create an environment that causes a person or group of people to feel different, alone, unimportant, unsafe, frightened, unable to do well or achieve, unable to see a positive future for self. All of these can contribute to an environment where it is difficult, if not impossible, for learning and or for teaching to occur. But keep in mind these dynamics and results distress apply to off-campus events as well, such as cyberbullying or aggressive behaviors occurring to and from school. Is hazing considered bullying? Forms of initiation that rely on humiliation or other types of abuse are referred to as hazing, and it is a form of bullying. Therefore, it is important that school staff, athletic directors, and coaches must include hazing in the discussions of bullying in any written student and parent agreements. When we discuss cyberbullying, it is a growing concern worldwide. It will occur in our schools, and we all must be vigilant. All student, staff, parents, and stakeholders must be made aware of this. Discussions must be had, including cyberbullying, sexting, where age appropriate, and general discussions with students and staff and parents about bullying prevention and or internet safety. All emails and electronic communications of harassment must be documented and submitted to administration. Safety. If you need to, change email addresses if harassment continues, or contact the school police if threats are violent or sexual in nature. Then we have to educate. Educate bystanders about how to intervene with cyberbullying, social networking sites, cell phones, emails, and all forms of electronic communication. Talk with your parents, your students about the chat rooms and the messages that are coming that may be inappropriate, and how to report those complaints to your internet service provider. When we're reporting bullying in our schools, again, the first form that should be completed is form number 2508, Student Bullying, Harassment, and Teen Dating Violence Report. This form can be completed by anyone on your campus. It should have the basic facts, who's involved, and what they say has happened. Once you complete that form, you should then sign and route it over to the AP, who will then route it over to the principal. The second form, Form 2509, Student Investigation Summary. This form is completed by the AP or the principal. It has the results of the investigation along with the actions taken or put in place as a result of the investigation. Last but not least, Form 2597, Student Investigation Evidence. This form is completed by the assistant principal or the principal, and it consists of all evidence collected, witness statements, stay away agreements, or any trainings that were completed as a result of the investigation. Measures to ensure safety for all. Bullying, Title IX. Again, the first step is to identify the current incident and how it relates to the individuals involved. Next, once identified, put all safety measures in place that will prevent the incident from continuing. Then you will refer the students to school-based team or child study team. It is required for harassment and sexual harassment, and this is coded in SIS under the school-based team tab. And last but not least, put safety measures in place that will not allow the behavior to continue with any other students. Possible interventions. The first one is the Form 2507, Stay Away Agreement, followed by Form 2506, the Safety Plan. You may want to implement a schedule change, or you can refer to the school counselor or with a mentor on your campus, or refer to an outside agency for additional services. And these are just a few of the interventions you may implement. There are 3 points you need to be familiar with. The first point is to look for RIP, repeated, imbalance of power, and purposeful. If all three aspects are not in play, you are not dealing with a disruptive event. You are dealing with a disruptive event, not bullying. Student safety is always the first concern, no matter what label we put on the event. Point 2, interventions. Interventions that provide a safe place to learn and positively impact student behavior are critical to the school environment. Point 3, action to all incidents should include support structures and monitoring to ensure that the students are constantly in a safe place to learn. And last but not least, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact Diane Wyatt, manager, or myself, Dr. April Bullard. Thank you.